has a slight weakness, like right at around that 6 to 8 minute push. And I guess the question I need to know is, how soon should I like hold off teching to infestors that early, or should I have had more infestors out by that point?
If we're going infestor, we got to get our ass to infestor ASAP. Now another thing you mentioned previously was upgrades. So I mean, how do you treat those upgrades when you're trying this style?
The upgrades for the Lings, I don't think I start any upgrades until I see they have siege tanks, and then I'll pop the armor first.
Okay. We're already doing it wrong.
Okay.
Now, upgraded Zerglings, +1 armor is awesome. It lets our Lings live longer under siege tank fire. You're exactly right. But it doesn't really. It doesn't really, like, armor alone doesn't really do much beyond that. We want to maintain an upgrade advantage over Terran. That's ideal for us. We want to be upgrading early and often, so that when he pushes out with 1-1, we're already working on 2-2. And here's why. Every Zerg player in the world has sent a swath of Zerglings at a Terran ball and had it just melt. Right?
Yeah.
I played a game earlier today on stream that you may or may not have seen, where I send all these Lings across the map on Temple, and he's got a tower that I'm not paying attention to, and all my shit just melts to a bunch of upgraded Lings and tanks, and it was terrible. The reason that we want to get the upgrades faster, and the reason that we want to get upgrades as fast as humanly possible, is because when our Lings are upgraded, we can actually trade with Marines fairly effectively. In general, in the early stages of the game, if he comes and he pushes with 25 Marines, and you try to defend with 30 Zerglings, your Lings are probably not even going to get in the mix very much before they all die. But when we add in those upgrades, they do much more damage. A Marine does not have a lot of health, for starters. So when you have upgraded Lings, they're going to tear those Marines apart faster, and then of course they're going to take damage slower. So I mean, the upgrade, I guess I'm using a lot of words to say your logic is wrong. We don't get the upgrades for siege tanks, we get the upgrades for Marines.
Okay.
And we get the upgrades so that our Zerglings can fight Marines in heads-up battles. And that's what we want to do. So if you're going to do this infestor style, which I love this infestor style, and you know that. If you're going to do this infestor style, you have to understand that your priority is actually Zergling upgrades over the infestors. But we're going to set it up in such a way that we can still get the infestors as fast as humanly possible, regardless. So you can open up speedlings, please. I'm totally cool with that. And from there, we're going to. You can open up speedlings. We're going to get that first 100 gas. You're going to take guys off. You're going to drone pretty hard, and then around the time that your third queen finishes, and one of the benefits of doing this build is that it's not very mineral. It doesn't eat up a lot of minerals, so you have extra money to get things like a third queen. So around the time that third queen finishes, and we get back on gas and we start that layer, we're going to go up to 4 gas immediately. We're going to put double evos down immediately, and we're going to start those upgrades before our layer even finishes.
Okay, so you start upgrades when you start tech and layer.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Or you start your evo chambers when you start your layer,
right?
And then you'll get upgrades as soon as they finish, obviously. And if you kind of work out the timings correctly, you'll be able to throw down that infestation pit the second layer starts while still getting your upgrades. And then the instant infestation finishes, you can start your energy upgrade for those infestors, and then you just start cranking those guys out with any extra gas.
Okay, that's another question I've always had with the infestors. Do you, in the energy upgrade, do you go ahead and start your infestor building before the energy upgrade finishes, so they have the mana when they pop, or because I've run into an issue where I'll have infestors out, but the energy upgrade's not done yet, and they don't have energy.
Yeah,
and
that's no good. So the fastest way you can cast fungal is by starting an infestor when the energy upgrade is 30% done.
Okay.
And then the upgrade will finish, and then the infestor will pop out right behind it. So the earliest you want to build any infestors is after your energy upgrade has gotten to about 30% completion. And then they're gonna pop out ready to cast. And you were walking a tightrope here, and my timings are going to be a little bit different from yours if you open Speedlink, so we're going to kind of be learning a little bit together. But we're going to button this up as best we can, and hopefully for any sort of early game cute stuff, we'll be ready.
All right, sounds good.
All right. All right. Here we go. Good luck.
All right.
Have fun. GG.
And per all players, I always forget overlords and all that crap. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so do I. It happens. That's the constant struggle that we face as Zerg players, just getting that macro ironed out. Mine seems to have slipped a little bit lately, so I'm not really sure what's going on there.
I've actually been playing over the last week a lot better, but I haven't played any games yet today, so I'm sure I'll be rusty.
Okay, so we are going to go ahead and hit that 15 hatch. When you put your pool down, should be dependent on where he is, and you should have an idea for where he is by the time you get ready to expand.
Okay.
If he is close by air, then you should feel like you have a little bit of freedom to go as late as a 16 pool. If he's not, then maybe you want to go 15 pool just to be a little bit more on the safe side.
How early do you drone scout on 15 hatch so you can find out where they are? Immediately?
I'll send a drone when I place the hatchery.
Okay.
And
okay, so if they're closer positions, you drop it at like 14 pool kind of thing?
15 is probably as early as I'm going to drop it, unless I'm just paranoid. I might go 15, 14. So.
Because that's what I've been doing. I've been doing 15 hatch, 14 pool.
The truth of the matter is the difference between 15 hatch 14 pool and 15 hatch 16 pool is probably something that you or I won't even feel. It's probably something that only becomes pertinent at the highest of levels. But that extra drone, that extra time of mining, it does make a difference. And as Zerg players, we want to have that economy in as good of shape as is possible. So, if we can cut corners, if we can cheat to get more drones out, we want to.
Another issue, it seems like, with those early pushes, it doesn't ever really seem like I have issues with minerals. It's always the larva, and I don't know if it's because I'm missing injections or what. I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I don't know. That's just something, I guess, that needs to be worked on at some point.
One thing to understand, especially when playing this style, is that your minerals are going to stack up. It's just a side effect of living off of an army that is predominantly made up of Zerglings. If you feel like you have just tons of money and you can't spend it, then obviously you want to expand again or put down macro hatcheries. And when I play this style, it's not uncommon for me to have 2 hatcheries in my base. Not at all. Now I will point out that you did not drone scout, so he could be close positions and you would have no idea.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot to do that. I was listening to you talk.
It's okay. But it's just, you went 16 pool, which is the greedier of your options.
Right.
And
I figured why not, right?
Exactly. And there's a lot to be said about that thought process. You want to be as greedy as you can be. We hear Machine and Rhett talk about it all the time. How can they squeeze out that one more drone? And you just demonstrated it for us.
Interesting.
Oh, there's a proxy Rax.
Yes, he is.
Now you know that he is definitely bringing some kind of pressure. And if you're paying attention, you see in the back of your natural, back of my natural. Oh my god, you are killing me, dude. There it is.
Yeah, I know, right?
Alright, so you see that there's a bunker down.
Yeah.
It's going to finish. This is not a freak out time. He has 3 entrances to that bunker. You can block them all and he will not be able to get in. Now you want a queen and oh, you lost that overlord. That hurts.
Yeah.
But you do have lings in front. You do have a spine crawler finishing. It looks like you are going to be okay because once that spine is done, you're going to be more or less safe. Let's look at production, and I see that you have 3 overlords building, which is probably the biggest overreaction imaginable.
I have a. That's another thing I tend to see, like have an issue doing. Like I'll queue overlords, but I'll just through my hands keep trying to make units or something, and it'll keep popping up. Need more overlords, so I will. I'll just keep hitting the key.
Well, let's stop for a second and just have some dialogue here. We said we wanted to go 17 gas. Clearly, we missed that.
Yep.
We also missed the 21 gas and the 25 gas.
No. So in other words, I need a couple gases.
Yeah, double gassing would be correct here. And this isn't not 3, not 3. All
right.
You need those guys mining minerals. This isn't a big deal. It's common in the face of this kind of pressure for you to push that stuff. So you're okay. I do want you to be kind of scouting a little bit with those Zerglings. You saw that he proxied that barracks, so you have no idea what's coming behind it. And so you just want to be sure, you want to know. But you should feel really healthy, really comfortable. And any time that Spine Crawler finishes and you haven't taken damage and he backs off, you need to just go immediately back into droning. You did make a round of Lings that was unnecessary. I like that you're making 2 overlords at this stage in the game because you're at 44 supply. And at 42 supply, we know that we make overlords 2 at a time. You want to start your Ling speed. And you can definitely make a 3rd queen. Just notice your minerals already.
Yeah.
You know, so you get that queen going there in your natural. Get your Ling speed going. We're going to start our layer with our next 100 gas, not our current 100 gas. And Ling speed is not something that you can dilly-dally with.
Right.
And I see that you're being, cute up here at the front. But you're wasting time doing things that are inconsequential.
When you said
Ling
not
speed. Ling speed, Ling speed.
Did it not start?
Ling speed.
I hit the key.
Please start Ling speed. There you go. All right. Okay, so before you ask your next question, you need to go up to 4 gas and put down 2 Evo chambers. Continue injecting, continue droning, and now you can ask me questions.
When you said not this 100 gas, the next 100 gas, why did you wait an extra?
No. I meant with your Ling speed. You want your Ling speed first and your layer second, and then we just waited. We got.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So your first 100 gas is always for Ling speed. In this build and in most builds. I'm going to have to point out the positioning of your overlords. If he comes and pushes right now, you're going to lose 5 overlords and you won't be able to make any units, and you will be very sad. Mine from those gases in your natural. Start your +1 carapace, start your +1 melee. That has to be instant. Continue injecting. And that infestation pit should go down immediately. Now, I need to see you being more active about controlling the map. You have no vision whatsoever of his side of things. You do have the towers that you've just taken, which is good.
Yeah, that overlord I was going to plant died. I forgot about that.
Right. So, you need to be feeling like you have map control, because you do. And when you have map control, you do not need what?
Units?
You don't need those 8 Zerglings that you just queued up.
Yeah.
You need to be making drones.
Still?
Yep.
Alright, that's something I definitely don't do then. Because usually when I feel like I'm a little ahead, I have saturation, I start just pumping units regardless.
In these positions especially, you have forever. You start your Infestor Energy, there goes good. You have forever. If you see him push, you have literally got all day before he gets to your base. So you're in good shape. Notice your money situation.
Yep.
And I saw that you just put down a hatchery. That's fine. You want to continue making overlords. And just our general vision is not something that I'm satisfied with right now. We don't have enough. You basically only have towers. You can fix that by getting overlord speed and spreading out overlords.
Lord speed.
Alright, so you should be starting infestors right now.
That's another question I've always wondered. How many typically do you make?
3 to 5 at this point in the game. And then if he makes a commitment to mech, I'll add a lot more.
Okay.
So we're just poking with the Lings. We're just seeing what we can see. We have so much money.
Yes.
And that's, again, that's an offshoot of what we're doing here. So you can absolutely make a macro hatch. You need to start your +2/+2 ASAP. And your Infestor Energy is done. And there you see some Blue Flame Hellions in the back of your natural. Oh dear. You're going to want to use a fungal growth on those. Don't let drones die. Oh, that's even better. 2 infested Terrans, not that many, and 1 more fungal. 1 more fungal.
No energy.